Okay, so I'll start something very ironic about having a team meal for a team that usually lives on the road. Never went on the road and never had one team meal until today. So I think we ended it in comfort, the way that I'm very used to living my life in the winter, I guess, which is eating chicken wings and drinking water. So I'm going to start with some thank yous. So first, if I'm Batman, he's Robin. So Coach Vanas, committed, passionate, communicator, big time communicator, and probably most importantly, a friend. So, someone I know is always going to be there when I need them. Secondly, Coach Longo, similar words, positive, motivated, passionate. I think what makes Coach Longo as successful as he is, really, to be honest, is a lot of the things that you guys don't see. He works so hard behind the scenes to kind of continue his own education in hockey. He's always on Zooms and on phone calls and talking to different people so that he can be the best coach, and his future is so bright. I'll say it on this is going on YouTube, so I believe he'll be in the NHL in not too distant time. I truly believe it. That's how good he is. Obviously, Mr. Ryu, he's the history of what we do here. He's the history of why we're successful. Another great friend and bleeds Spartan red. That's why we're lucky to have everything we have here. I think there's groups of people that get forgotten in these a lot. For me, my parents, I call home every night or every other night, there's no question, and my mom and dad are huge supporters of everything we do. They're huge reasons why I am who I am, so I think I need to thank them and thank my family. And last, obviously, I spent a lot of time away from home. It's tough, so my boy over there, Gabe, obviously his mom Ashley, holding down the fort anytime I have to go anywhere. It means the world to me to know that if I'm here, he's safe and in comfort there. So that's my thank yous. There's a lot more I could give, but that's the list that I chose to focus on. Even in a year where we didn't travel, a year where we didn't go anywhere, everything that we did took a tremendous amount of support. And there's no question that that's my support system, largely, what's listed there, which is why I'm able to be a support system for you guys, because I have such good people in my life. My message today is going to be pretty simple. I think it's just to appreciate life. And I think this year has been a really good example of why we need to ensure that we appreciate life. So I do have this written out. I didn't used to like to write. My English teachers taught me that, or they told me I didn't like to write, but I think I'm pretty damn good at it now, as long as it involves hockey. If it's anything else, I don't know if I'm good at it. But so I'm going to try and draw some parallels from my life. I'm going to go back a long way and try and get to today, and just give a little bit of a story about appreciation and working through a couple different situations. So I've been involved with hockey a long time. When I was 6 years old, I played for the Campbell Auto Group in the West Hill Hockey Association. And there's the jersey. Happens to be in my house, which is pretty special that it's the one that's there. In my memory, one of the better players on the team. I think we all have that memory, though. I could skate okay, despite what you see on the ice today. I scored some goals before that 2-minute buzzer went off and ended the shift. But something I definitely remember is, so on that particular team was a guy named Chris Stewart. So I played a 6-year-old house league with Chris Stewart. You might know the name. He's played 700 NHL games. Chris went through a lot of hardships in life. He grew up completely in poverty. His whole family lived in a hotel room on Kingston Road in Scarborough, which is basically, it's the east end of Toronto. It's as far as you could go, and Kingston Road wasn't a very nice place to be living. He stopped playing hockey when he was 15 years old, completely packed it in. Largely a financial decision. He decided to try football. It was a cheaper option at that point in time for his family. Through the help of many other people around him and his own determination, he ultimately never quit. He's now a dad. He's the owner of the Minnesota Hockey School, a development coach for the Philadelphia Flyers, and obviously an ex-NHLer that played 700 games. Played for Team Canada. Pretty special. So his life is well documented, the struggles, the success. I start with this story to make sure we all remember that struggles only make us stronger. And 1 year away from games, note the word games, not the game, it's not going to ruin your chance at getting to where you go. If Chris Stewart can walk away at 15 years old, come back at 16, 17, walk on in Kingston, where his brother was playing, and go on to a 10-year NHL career, 1 year away isn't going to ruin any of us. So ultimately, why does this matter? Why does the Orange team on Toronto's East End matter? To me, it matters because it's the beginning of a hockey journey. Not a playing journey, but a relationship with the game that has countless ups and countless downs. But without question, to this day, a bad day can go away for that time that we're on the rink. It would be fair to say that many of us have complicated relationships with hockey. We love the game, but at times we wonder, does it love us back? How's this relationship working? We see others achieve a goal that we wanted for ourselves, and we wonder, why not us? We see other people get to play the game that we want to play, and we wonder, why them? Why not us? Hockey ultimately is a microcosm of life. The game teaches us how to deal with the day-to-day tides that life will give us professionally, personally, and in your case as students, academically. I used to have a book at my parents' house, it's probably still there, and it was called Dear Don Cherry, Does Hockey Love Kids? I read it often because, to be frank, hockey and life and hockey life, it simply isn't always fair. As an adult, I've accepted this reality and the idea that hockey and life is not fair. When I was your age, I hadn't accepted it. So I fully understand why many of you have had a hard time accepting our reality this year, but you've done a tremendous job of looking at it. I urge you to see life and hockey with a glass full approach. Not a glass half full approach, but a glass full approach. Nothing will replace sports when you can no longer have them in your life. There's no substitute for getting to be an athlete. And I'm passionate about everything I do, but there ain't no substitute for getting to play. And eventually, it's hard to play. So keep doing what you're doing. Last year, I became the lucky person chosen to run this team. It's part of my job that I take great pride in it, and I absolutely cherish it. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by you, by people who have goals, by goal-oriented young men who are always seeking ways to move the bar. You guys are always trying to find a way to become more successful. As a whole, I think our hockey program, in particular the team that I'm talking to now, the Stanstead Varsity Boys hockey team, is very, very healthy. When I look at what we had planned this year, when I look at how we navigated the COVID situation, the pandemic, when I look at what we have in store moving forward into next year, I know that this is the perfect spot for me. This is the program that makes me happy to be involved in this sport, and I know how lucky the next class of student athletes that come here is going to be to enjoy everything that's in store for them because of all of our hard work. Your daily commitment to getting better, to caring, and to wanting to be more is proof of why we are so healthy. We have a culture here that allows people to be the best at what they want to be, but also enjoy everything else that goes on in our school community, and that's why you go to boarding school. This year is truly an example of the game doesn't always love you back. If you choose to focus on things this way, I think at some point we all have during this year. We've all had that moment in time where we've struggled with, what's going on here? Like, why am I doing this every single day if I'm never going to get to play a game? So I think we've all been there. We missed out on games. We missed out on representing our wonderful school on the road. on hearing people comment about our perfect uniforms. It's the first time I've seen you guys in your uniforms, which, something I'm used to seeing all the time. We missed out on the inside stories, and I think the inside stories truly evolve when you leave the quote-unquote Stanstead bubble, and we didn't have an opportunity to do that. But I think what we missed in our thinking is we didn't actually miss the game. We missed games, but we didn't miss the game. We played it every single day. So I think that's something that's important to focus on. We established strengths. We worked on weaknesses. We forced you to play with speed, to find a level of skill that you were comfortable at playing at and try and get a little bit more skilled and be comfortable at that level, and so on and so forth. So yes, we missed games, but we did not miss the game of hockey. I truly believe that young people have learned more about themselves this year than ever before. Beyond that, I believe that Stanstead College has taught you more this year than you could ever understand, or at least more than you'll be able to understand for quite some time. We tried to teach you to live in the moment, to live for the moment. You still learnt your subjects, human geography, one of them. You still practiced your sport. But the true learning this year was simply getting up and dealing with what we were dealing with. Getting up and dealing with adversity. That's life and that's learning. You have to understand that this year has probably been the most unique year in human history, going back to the World Wars. That's a long time ago. And that's a major event. And this year, and a lot of the difficulties that are going to be associated with this year, my dad's turning 65 in July, and he's never lived a year that's like this. That's a lesson that he taught me very early in this pandemic. This is a big year. Please don't get upset that this year happened during your big year. Whether it's your grade 12 year, your draft year, whatever it is. Try to understand that you'll be better for it happening to you, because you'll be a better person because of it. When I started coaching, or when I took this job, which I wanted, there's no chance that I thought that my first ever head coaching opportunity would involve everything that we've dealt with this year. No one drew it up this way. Thank you for helping me. Obviously, you guys all make me better. You guys made me face adversity. You guys made me change. You guys made me think outside my box of skills to try and find a way to make hockey as enjoyable for you each and every day. So I thank you tremendously for that. I hope that my willingness to control what I could control and find solutions is a lesson for you that you can use in your life. As leaders and future leaders, because that's what all of you should be, we need to be ready to adapt. We need to have compassion, understanding, and we need to be able and ready to help people when they're having difficult times. In terms of your guys' skills, I'm beyond impressed with your improvement. I think if you take day one, September 10th or 11th or whatever it is, and you go to this morning, which I labeled as our official last team skate, there's proof that there's lots of guys in here that can play college hockey. There's lots of guys in here that can play hockey after their 20th birthday, which is a difficult thing to do. As far as I'm concerned, I'll make the tape pass to you. I think I do it more often than not when I jump into drills. And now it's up to you. There isn't a single coach out there. There isn't a single scout. There's not a pandemic that can stop you from reaching your dream if it's truly what you want to do. So you just have to find the avenue to get there. And I believe that in some way you can all achieve some lifelong dream in hockey. So stay positive. The world will heal. Games will return. And kids and young men like yourselves will be playing hockey, whether it's in BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, or Quebec, moving forward. This is the last one I got, last paragraph. Aside from your parents, I'll probably be your biggest fan. This is more, I guess, to the seniors that are moving on as you continue on. When you score a goal in Coquitlam, when you make a save in Black Falls, when you drop the gloves in Fort Mac, when the Spartan line hits the ice in Weyburn, when someone runs someone through the boards in Grand Prairie, I'll know about it minutes after it happens. Your parents might know first. I'll be closely behind, as will Coach Vanas and Mr. Ryu. That's what we do. Box scores are our passion. We read box scores like crazy. So know that you have a lot of fans in us. But life is deeper than box scores. I hope that along with all the goals, the assists, and the saves, Much of what you have learned through me will be able to just make you better men. Be good sons to the parents who sacrificed so much for you to be here. And remember that. And remember how lucky you are to have the parents that you have in order to get you here. It's a huge sacrifice no matter where you come from in life. And ultimately, I think along the journey, and something that's, as you guys know, is hugely important to me, I hope that some of the lessons that I've shown you will ultimately one day make you a good dad, because it's so important. It makes me sad to think that you guys missed out on seeing more of Gabriel, more of Layla, and more of Charlotte, Mr. Vanas's 2 daughters, and seeing your coaches be dads. Sharing our world with you helps you understand so much more about us and so much more about our lives. And it will make you better people. And ultimately my job, and Mr. Vanas and Mr. Ryu and everyone involved in this as teachers, is to make you better people. I told you on day 1, hockey was always second to being a good person. And I think my coaching philosophy for this entire year spoke to that. Hockey is always second, and being a good person is always first. So thank you very much for the year that we've had. I truly appreciate all your efforts and everything like that. Obviously Ryan and Jeremy as captains, thank you. And just to everyone, please be good human beings as you keep moving forward. Okay, we're going to hand out some awards. I'll do these in a couple different groups. For these first 2 people, we'll clap for the first person. We'll clap for the second person. They can come up, get their stuff, and sit back down. So a sportsmanship award and a senior S goes to a quiet leader, shows his qualities by putting his head down and getting to work. Never a negative word out of his mouth. Never a moment where he looks unhappy. Someone who truly trusted the process. Someone who trusted us here at Stanstead and really benefited from that, and it showed early. William Dyke, I often reference a couple games with you. It is these mentioned qualities that I talked about before that have allowed you to go from those games to where you are today. Your effort, your coachability, and your team first attitude are amazing. Second senior S goes to a student who believes truly in hard work and is determined to be as good as his body will allow him to be. He's from nowhere to somewhere. I'm very happy that on a warm summer day, Coach Renas came up to me and he says, "Hey, we just got an email, and I think we should look at it a little bit more seriously." So Liam, you're one of the hardest working kids that I know. Sometimes you're too hardworking, and I've told you that probably more times than I've told you how hardworking you are. You have the attitude of someone with something to prove, and I think in 8 months you've done a damn good job of proving something. So, Will, Liam, come on. Okay, last set. So I have 2 more senior S's to award, and the Dawes MVP trophy for excellence and sportsmanship in hockey. Obviously, the 2 people that are going to get senior S's are also going to be co-awarded the MVP trophy. So this award will be co-awarded to our 2 captains. They've had to lead in a year that has truly been unmatched by any Spartan leaders for the past 50 years. Jeremy and Ryan, your skills on the ice, they speak for themselves. Your abilities to make others better is noticeable, and your desire to be leaders through effort and be true Spartans is what makes us as coaches proud. Ryan, your journey through Stanstead isn't your typical 2 years. Both years were truncated in some way, but you've made the most of your days. You have a true passion for improving. And I think with the elite skill you have and the passion you have for simply getting better, that's the combination that makes you as special of an athlete as you are. And Jeremy, this is a Lifetime Achievement Award for you at Stanstead. You refused to be labeled, and you found a way to the top of what you can be at Stanstead in terms of hockey. I vividly remember, it's fitting that we're here and I can see it there, I vividly remember the two of us standing in that corner last year after one practice and having a pretty real conversation. Your talent, your desire, your stubbornness, to know what you are, but also at the same time acknowledge some things that you needed to improve on, that's what's made you elite. That's what's got you here. You're the definition of Stanstead built. You're a perfect example for this entire hockey program of how hard work and trusting the system can have you move from the prep team to the varsity team to the MVP. So congratulations, Ryan. Congratulations, Jeremy. So just thank you everyone once again. Thank you to your parents. Probably should have been mentioned in the first thank yous. We're all lucky to be here, guys. So each and every day that we've battled through something or disliked something, make sure you call home tonight. Mom and Dad will watch this tomorrow, so if you haven't called home, you'll be in trouble. So thank you everyone.